बोलने लगे, आप शुरू कर दीजिए।
इधर से कराएं
सर, आ रहे हैं सब लोग आ रहे हैं।
इधर से करें। मैसेज आ जाता है ना, तो ये ठीक है, इसको मैसेज को बोल दीजिए।
Please maintain silence and listening. A very good afternoon to the August family. We all have assembled here for listening to the head of our ICR family, Honorable Secretary there, and Director General ICR, Dr. Himanshu Pathak. We, the scientists, staff, and students of Indian Veterinary Research Institute and Central Indian Research Institute, welcome you, sir, on your maiden visit to the Premier Institute of Veterinary Sciences, a shining jewel in the crown of ICR. May I request Director cum Vice Chancellor, ICR IVRI, Dr. Trivedi Dutt, to welcome Honorable Secretary there and Director General ICR, Dr. Himanshu Pathak, by presenting the bouquet, please. Welcome Honorable Deputy Director General and the Science ICR, Dr. Thank you, sir. Now, I request our dynamic leader of the IVRI family, Dr. Trivedi Dutt, to please deliver the welcome address.
A very good afternoon to all of you, dear friends. Honorable Secretary there and DG Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Dr. Himanshu Pathak sir. Deputy Director General Animal Sciences, Dr. P.N. Tripathi sir. My colleague Dr. A.K. Tiwari, Joint Director of IVRI, Izzatnagar, and our various campuses, in charges of various regional stations, faculty, staff of IVRI, CARI, senior officials, and dear students. It is a matter of great pleasure that the Director General, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Dr. Himanshu Pathak sir, the head of our ICAR family is amongst us today. We are really grateful to you, sir. And I also extend warm welcome to Dr. Himanshu Pathak, sir, for sparing his valuable time for this very important world-renowned campus IVRI. I also extend very warm welcome to Dr. V. Tripathi, sir, Deputy Director General, Animal Science. Sir, the inauguration of this very important auditorium was done by Honorable Agriculture Minister on 23rd August 2022 during our 10th convocation. Our team Director General, he was to attend this very important function because of his very precious schedule. He could not make possible to attend this the 10th convocation of IVRI University. But he has promised that I will be visiting to IVRI Zatnagar within a month. So I am really grateful to you, sir. You kept your promise. I and on behalf of the faculty of IVRI, student of IVRI and CARI, I extend hearty welcome to you, sir. We feel privileged to have you amongst us today. Sir, this institute is the oldest institute in our agriculture research system. We have initiated our teaching and training program, PG teaching and training program during 1900. After that, during 1958, we have established our PG education. Thereafter, during our PG education, this whole our education system was affiliated with the Royal Canadian University and Agra University. After that, we have been recognized by UGC and granted our deemed university status during 1983, 16th November. Now, sir, presently our institute is offering in 17 disciplines MBSc, 19 discipline PhD, and 10th discipline in our national diploma. Sir, we have now currently 745 students. It is worth to inform that in main campus, majority of the students, around 481, they are in our main campus, and our other remaining 80 students, they are our regional stations, campuses, and other ICAR institutes. We have at presently we have 204 faculty and 50 faculty is including the 50 faculty from our regional station and campuses and 71 faculty from our 19 ICAR Animal Science Research Institute. So we are also collaborating the teaching and guidance activity with our other Animal Science ICAR Institute also. We have MOU with the 25 institutions and sir, we have immensely contributed in our in disease control program of the country. In fact, we have, because of our technological backstopping in terms of vaccine, diagnostic, and quality control of various vaccines, we have been able to eradicate 4 dreaded important diseases in the country. So we have a core competency in our faculty and student. We have a well-established infrastructure. We have 6 well-established, 26, 19 well-established divisions, and 28 various sections. We have around 3,900 acre land in our various campuses and regional stations, including 2,600 land in our reserve forest. So, keeping in view of our core competency and the infrastructure available at this institute, we have been asked to establish the College of Veterinary Science in NCR also, and we have also asked to give a consent to establish a world referral with the globally competitive infrastructure for wildlife health management at Junagadh. So we are on the way to prepare the both proposal, and we will send to the council for the concurrence. So the student of IVRI, they have a well-established placement rate around 87%. Our 10% students, they are moving towards our ICAR research system, and 26% they are in State Agriculture University and State Veterinary Universities, and also 7% students, they are moving in various central government organizations, and other 5% they are in various private organizations. So, keeping in, we have a core competency to handle and to conduct R&D on zoonosis, emerging, re-emerging pathogens, and our scientists are actively involved in attending various outbreaks, disease investigations, diagnosis, and treatment of livestock and also the wildlife. We have 7 important national services which are dedicated to the nation. We have well-established quality control capacity. We have biological products division, and we also have Center for Wildlife, who is dedicated for health services to the various zoos, safaris, and rescue center. So we are the only person who are providing services to the wildlife. During the COVID, our scientists and faculty, they were involved in this diagnosis process of the COVID activities also. What I would like to tell you, sir, we have a competency in terms of human resources, in terms of infrastructure also. But keeping in view of our national compliance, national regulatory compliance, and OIE norms, and also the regulatory compliance of various governments, we need to create some future-ready infrastructure. The future-ready infrastructure at our main campus and regional stations also, like BSL 3, and also because of non-availability of GMP and GLP compliant infrastructure here, we could not produce various biologicals, which we are producing up to 2010 and supplying to the stakeholder as per the requirement of the nation. But because of non-availability of our GMP and GLP compliance, we could not be in the system. So, although we have regularly pursuing, and we are really happy to share Honorable Secretary there and DG ICAR, he is also very serious to establish these important infrastructure at this institute, because we have already submitted one important long-term project of 180 crore to Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy, and I think with the blessing of our council, I think we'll get success. And keeping in view of the serious fund constraints in our EFC plan, we have prioritized our activities. we have also prioritized our various targets. Finally, we land up with 171 target for 22-26, 25, and out of 171 target, 42 target of our significant important which are really required for the nation. And these 26 targets we have already shared with the council for time to time monitoring these targets. So with the guidance of the subject matter divisions, I think we will be able to whatever the target we have shared with the council, we will be able to, I think, complete the target. And keeping in view of the EFC funding, we have already fixed the important target. Like we have 204 scientists, including 99 our young scientists. We have fixed the target that each and every scientist must have one external granted competitive grant project. So for your kind of information, we are really grateful to our chairman, board of trustees and head of division. From January 2022 till now, we have submitted 118 research proposal to our various external funded national and international agencies. And also 18 projects have been approved. So this, I think, and other projects are in process. So we are trying hard to tap the grant from national and international agency in order to create the new infrastructure at this institute. So this institute is very rich, having a very rich portfolio in terms of patents, copyrights, and in terms of design. We have in our hand 28 patents in our and 46 patents in process. We have around 46 copyrights and 23 design registered. We have already commercialized 40 technology to our 141 commercial houses and generated the revenue to the tune of around 8.5 crores. So we are working very hard to meet the requirement of the stakeholder and the requirement of our this government, and also to the expectation of the council. Now, the keeping in view of our project funding in EFC and also project funding in other external funded projects, it is very difficult to create a high-end infrastructure like our BSL 3, BSL 2, ABSL 3, and GMP, GLP compliant. We are already, sir, 10 years back in our infrastructure. So we are really struggling. We are working very hard to create this infrastructure. And sir, as per your call, one scientist, one product. During the month of January 2022, we have decided that each and every scientist must publish one publication per year in high impact factor, that is 7 and above NAS rating. So on your call, we have extended this target to one scientist, one product. I am really sure that we will come up with our expectations, and I think very soon our portfolio will be enriched. And now, sir, lot of restructuring and reconsolidation will be required in order to implement the National Education Policy 2022. We have already implemented National Education Policy to make our system flexible, multidisciplinary, and holistic. We have also implemented BSMA course curriculum as per the recommendation of the council. So with this very small brief, sir, I thank you immensely for favorably considering our request to address the faculty of IVRI, CARI, faculty of and student of IVRI and CARI, in spite of your very, very busy schedule. And I look forward for your guidance, support to develop this IVRI as an institution of eminence. We know, sir, your way of working, and since we know we have a established leadership in the council as a head of division ICR, and we know in the short period of time your contributions and the visible output. So we are sure that we will be able to develop this institution as an institution of eminence under your leadership. Thank you very much.
Today, we have with us a dedicated and well-acknowledged resource person, Dr. Himanshu Pathak, Deputy Director General Animal Science, ICAR. Sir, I request you to address the panel.
Thank you very much. Very good afternoon to all of you. Today's chief guest, head of our family, Honorable Secretary there and DG ICR, respected Dr. Himanshu Pathak ji, my esteemed colleague and director of this great institution, we call as Mecca of Veterinarians, Dr. Triveni Dutt. Another sister institute, the same campus, my esteemed colleague Dr. Rekit Tiwari, director of CARI. Amongst the audience, today is really great to see that all stakeholders of animal husbandry in IVRI are present here. Right from senior officers, joint directors, heads of divisions, faculty and scientists of CRI and IVRI, and then senior officers from administration and finance, the technical officers, and on top of that, students right from UG to PhD. And that is a great admixture that I do not know I have any such like opportunity to address the past. But due to the far-sightedness of our Honorable DG sir, whenever you go anywhere, try to address and give the message that what really you have to do now. And today, I will not speak much, nor I have prepared to speak, right? But our DG sir has to speak a lot today, as he'll be doing another occasion also. He is so much full of everything. And the moment he has taken over, it appears that ICAR has rejuvenated. It's so dynamic. It's difficult. It's really made that he has only a week or so, they sent a very strong message throughout the ICR that what will be next 5 years under his leadership. I really salute him, and I wish that all of you give him a such like person who has really made a stand. I'm not going to tell about his scientific career as a whole, but he's the most distinguished scientist. And when just know only our scientists, there's more than I think 15,000 citations. That's only one thing I would like to finish. That will finish the stature of his achievement which he has made. Friends, today Dr. Triveni Dutt has very repeatedly and very clearly, he has put forward it what IVRI has done it in the past. What is its problem? What are issues? Where we are, and from where we should, from here, where we want to go. It's very clear in his mind that what are the objectives, what are the mandates, what are the different, our targets. He has fixed it, we have also fixed it, and many of the things that what he has initiated, we have already passed on to you as well. So that now fundamentals should be clear to all of us. That's what we have to do. IVRI is historical. So much so that if you go on narrating its achievement, its contribution to this country is second to none. Started in 18th century, now have entered in 21st century. It is a great journey that this institution has made. To its scientists, to its technical officers, to its administration, and so on and so forth, and students as well. So I'm not going to tell those, but our past has been very perfect. This we know. But how this past has to make further perfect and continuous, that is all depends on you. Especially students and young scientists who are sitting here, well supported by administration and finance and others. That's why I said that this is a very unique opportunity that you have given us, given our Honorable DG to talk to you and give a lecture. And this is being, I think, the process everywhere. All 19 institutes are also listening. That's a strong message that we are going to get from our Secretary and DG ICAR. Friends, I'm just only 5 minutes. I will not take much time because जितना हम समझ ज़्यादा लेंगे उतना ज़्यादा सब काम हो जाएगा. Challenges are many. So to really, this is not something that what we have been doing earlier conventionally will continue. Population is increasing. Land remains same. Water remains same. We have not been very much nature positive. We have been positive in compared to other parts of the world. Our system is also quite sustainable in compared to other European and American countries. But even then, we have also reached many losses to nature also. But still, there are possibilities that when we can quickly revert back to our basics and see that how we should be more nature positive, how we should meet the demands of this country in terms of milk, in terms of protein, in terms of eggs, meat, and so on and so forth. It should be sustainable also. So that our younger generation can further use them properly. That's why circular economy has come up, the concept of that. Whatever you take from the nature, you have to give back. But we have to feed people also. By 2050, you have population of around 1.7 billion, 167 crore. How to feed them? As animal scientists, veterinary scientists, how we are going to meet the requirement of meat and milk especially, which is going to be almost 628 million tons. How we are going to use those milk? How we are looking for the export market? And challenges are many also. We have got an animal nutrition challenge. We have got a health challenge. We have already seen that how health is a real challenge today. We have eradicated 4 diseases from the country, but how many diseases we have incurred in the country? There are many. And recently 2 has really created a havoc. So those commercial thinking of working on any vaccine or any disease, if the disease comes, we'll study it, make it survey, then the 5-6 years will go, 10 years will go, then the vaccine will come. Those days have gone. You have seen during the COVID period, People have not waited 6 months, 1 year. So you have to take those technology in consideration and get ready yourself. Any pandemic, any emergency, if you have technology, you have technology are available also. You should not go by conventional method. And for that, you have to work. You have to work for the alternatives of action technology, challenges, how we are going to challenge. There are many, I have seen that how it is happening with the case of FMD. How can you test quality testing on the vaccine by challenges? Because you don't get any animal, much animal will pursue it. So such like challenges I wanted to highlight here. And feeding challenges is another issue. Although 60 to 70% cost goes to feed and fodder. How to minimize that? How we can go for the alternative feed sources? How we are going to see that you're having a very good feed, efficient animals, feed conversion ratio. That you have to address those issues. And climate resilient animals and poultry, that you will have to really do that. If you are working in the calmer climate and this is your nature positive way, not harming to the climate, then still you are able to feed our people. Then your technology will be called sustainable, viable, and it can sustain throughout. And for student, I would like to say, you are the battle bearer now. The things we have seen in 1970s, 80s, nowadays, we are not seeing those things. Technology is moving at a very faster rate. And how quickly we learn those technology, adopt it for our purpose, nature friendly, environment friendly, then it will be only possible when you prepare yourself, looking at those challenges now, going for innovations that we can always do. And young minds are always, they always burn. They can do anything. And that is why ICAR has asked us to he want to make a think tank of scientists who can have a idea of innovation, out of box thinking, so that can be how we are looking at 2047. When we made our 2050 plan, our 2020, 2030 vision, that has happened now. Can you imagine what would be in 2047 here? What is the scenario of environment? Same scenario as we have today, or it will be changed. And can you predict that? And by doing that, you can have your plan also that we have to go in this direction. So students are really, they have got diversified kind of opportunities when they pass out from here. They can go as a scientist, as a teacher, as a professor, they can go in industry, they can go as entrepreneurs also. And entrepreneurs is the one that they can really change the veterinary science scenario in the country. So you student will have to get trained and train yourself in such a way so that you can able to accept the challenges of this country. Another part of the audience is our technical and administrative finance. You are important as a scientist and student. You are the one who are going to support them. Not only supporting technically, which we also start doing, but support in many ways. It all depends on you. It all depends on your processing of the government system. There are set kind of rules, set kind of guidelines. Even then, by following those guidelines, you can make changes. And we have seen that we could not fill post in 5 years, which he has done in just 2 months. This is also a way of working. This is not different. It has not come from different planet. 3 interviews in a day, things are happening. This would happen earlier also. And all we've done as per rule, as per procedure, everything is there. Nothing is being very shortened. So similarly in everything, in every aspect of your working or operation and in the institute, you can go and think those things, how quickly you can provide those infrastructure, those consumables, those chemicals and equipments to our scientists. Now, the format has totally changed. Every day you've got a monitoring. Anything you do, you are being monitored. I tell you, everybody is monitored, top to bottom. And you can forget at what target you have given. But Honorable Prime Minister Office will not forget. I'll give one example after that I'll finish. Just sitting in the morning with the previous DT, there was a phone call from PMO. आपने जो है 3 महीने पहले आपने कोरोना वैक्सीन का आपने वादा किया. What has happened to that? हम भी भूल गए थे. हमने लेके दिया था PMO में. So immediately we have to really work on that. We said that we're doing it and we'll do that. And we have done that also. So things are possible. So we have to take a responsibility ourselves. We must be accountable to ourselves also. Not necessarily that everybody should come on our head and then every time we station. Not like that. We can have our own target. We have fixed everything. But our job as a manager, the administration, the finance, to see that our scientists would not suffer for any kind of the things they require to do the research. So with this, I again thank all of you that we have come in this large numbers, almost more 750 people. And also our DT sir was not able to come in the convocation. He promised that we'll do as early as possible. So even that foundation day of CRI was 2nd November. But I thought that this is the best time to call and he agreed to that and he committed as earlier. Met him and different to Honorable D and for having agreed. And such a short period, we have really covered many things in just from 9 o'clock. We're busy with talking to people, then information day, and here, then again, next meeting. So that's the kind that how to manage time also. And from ICR, Animal Science Division, and from IVRI, the director, I say welcome and thank you very much for having given us time to come and address all segments of this institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you for motivating scientists and students of our institute to find sustainable solutions for the problems faced by farmers. May I now request DDG Animal Science Dr. James Tripathi to present a token of gratitude to Honorable Secretary there and DG ICAR Dr. Himanshu Pathak. Thank you, sir. It's indeed a great honor to have an internationally acclaimed scientist and a visionary leader at the head of ICAR family, Honorable Secretary there and Director General ICAR Dr. Himanshu Pathak. Sir has previously served as Director ICAR National Institute of Aquatic Stress Management and Director ICAR National Crisis Research Institute. Dr. Pathak is a scientist of global repute working in the area of aquatic stress, climate change, and soil science. Sir has published more than 200 research papers, 31 review papers, and 14 books with more than 19,000 citations in international literature. Dr. Pathak has been bestowed with several international and national awards and recognitions for his scientific contributions, including the prestigious Hon'ble Fellowship of Germany Dr. IVRI Award for Outstanding Research in Agricultural Sciences, Dr. M.S. Randhawa Memorial Award from NAS, to name a few. Dr. Pathak has been coordinator for United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, Minister of Agriculture from 2011 to 2016. Besides being an excellent scientist, he has received certificate for excellence in teaching from IVRI for 3 years continuously. May I now request you, sir, to please address the gathering and enrich us with your immense knowledge through a presentation depicting the vision.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Tripathi, Dr. Dutt, Dr. Tiwari, all the esteemed scientists from IVRI, CARI, technical staff, administrative staff, supporting staff, those who have joined online, and of course the students. First of all, let me pay my respect and homage to the founders of this great institute, Indian Veterinary Research Institute. Sometimes back, I was compiling a book, Indian Agriculture After Independence. But there we are also compiling what has happened during the last 5,000 years of Indian agricultural history. And while identifying the milestones, some of the things which stuck in my mind, the establishment of these great institutes. So those are the milestones. When somebody 100 years back would think about the necessity of this kind of institute. So my homage to all of them who thought, who built, who executed, and who nurtured this great institute. And also to thank each and every one of you who have got this opportunity to serve this great institute. This is really a great honor for any one of us to get an opportunity to serve such an institute which has contributed so much, not only for the country, but also for the abroad. Little bit lighter. मैं बहुत सीरियस बात बोलने नहीं जा रहा हूँ और इसलिए मुझे पता है कि लंच के बाद लेक्चर सुनना तो बहुत ही कठिन काम है। इससे अच्छा काम है कहीं को खेत में जाके कुछ काम कर ले, वो चल जाएगा, लेकिन लेक्चर अगर सुनना पड़े 2 घंटा, वो भी तो बड़े सीरियस लेक्चर, फिर तो हो गया। फिर किसी को अब दोस्त नहीं देख सकते कि वो सो क्यों गए थे, उनके पास सोने के अलावा कोई चारा ही नहीं बचा था, नहीं सोते तो क्या करते। So my talk is going to be very, very light, so do not use your brain. If you want, you can keep something in your mind, but otherwise, what I'll be talking is Indian agriculture towards 2047. अमृत काल में भारतीय कृषि. Point is, हम लोग प्लान तो बनाते रहते हैं. We have prepared vision 2030, vision 2050, and I don't know how many visions all of you have prepared. The good part of those visions are, you will not be there to see whether those things have happened or not. And this is also good part for this one. Many of us, I hope all of us should be there. But you know, nature is nature. So many of us might not be there to see whether these things have happened. But students will be probably there, all of them. And certainly they will be there. And I wish when they will see this particular year, 2047, what I am telling today, all of these things should match. Each and every number should match. And I am very sure the numbers will match. Because this is not simply kind of narrative. There is a concrete plan which Government of India is preparing. And with all of your cooperation, I think we will be able to match those numbers. So in this, those who have not gone through this book, I shall request you to please go through this book. I'm sure it is available in your library, or you can download it from online. All those lines are coming now. Yeah, now it is gone. So the last 75 years were really something any nation can boast of. Green revolution, white, blue, yellow, golden, silver, brown, gray, and all of this without changing much in area, the production has gone from 6 to 70 times. 6 to 70 times. My scientist friends might know, but as students are there, let me tell you what is the meaning of these numbers. When you say green revolution or white revolution, what does it mean? You know, before 1965, India used to depend for its food grain to many other countries, particularly USA. So there was a program called 480, and out of that program, lots of wheat and maize of poor quality rather used to come to this country. And those who have crossed around, say, 50, 60 years or so, probably they might faintly remember what kind of wheat and maize and those rice we could get. If you find time, my friends, students particularly, you please go through a book which was written by Paddocks. So USA at that time was giving food subsidy and food aid rather to many countries, not only to India, to many countries, because most of the countries were deficit. So at one point of time, USA government decided that we are not in a position to provide free food to everyone. So let us prioritize to whom, to which country food aid should be given, to which country it should not be given. So they formed a committee, and that was headed by Dr. Paddock. And they submitted the report to US Congress. In that report, they classified all the nations into 3 categories. And they took corollary from our soldiers who are fighting a war. So the report says that imagine there is a war going on and the soldiers are fighting. So in that battlefield, there could be 3 categories of soldiers. One category of soldiers are very healthy, strong, they are fighting and they will be able to win the war for you. Second category of soldier will be a little bit injured, but if you give a little bit treatment, food, medicine, nourishment, so maybe in a week's time or 2 weeks' time, they will be again fit and will be able to go back to the war front and fight for you. But there could be a third category of soldiers who are so injured in the battle. Probably one has lost one leg or 2 legs, 1 hand, 1 eye, or something like that, because it's a war. Anything can happen. So whatever you do, that category of soldier will never be able to come to the battlefield and fight the battle for you. Now, when you have got limited amount of food and medicine and water, everything, then out of these 3 categories of soldiers, which category of soldiers you will be first taking care of? ये तो 3 कैटेगरी है, इनमें से कौन सा कैटेगरी ऑफ सोल्जर को आप प्राथमिकता देंगे कि हाँ इनका ध्यान हम पहले रखेंगे, फिर दूसरे का, फिर तीसरे का. Now my students friends are there. If I ask you this question today, ये जो 3 कैटेगरी है और आपके पास लिमिटेड सप्लाई ऑफ मेडिसिन एंड फूड है, ये 3 कैटेगरी में से कौन से कैटेगरी को आप प्रायोरिटी देंगे कि इनका ध्यान हम पहले रखेंगे, फिर बाद में दूसरा, फिर तीसरा? Which category out of 1, 2 and 3? First one? Yes, so selfish people. Yes, and USA took the same decision what we have taken today. उनका कहना है जो थर्ड कैटेगरी है, कुछ भी कर लीजिए, वो तो कभी खड़े होके आपके लिए जंग जीत ही नहीं सकते, तो उनका क्या ध्यान रखना? भूल जाइए, let them die. And USA put India into that category. India is in the third category. Whatever you do, this country will not be able to produce sufficient food for itself. It will be perennially depending upon others. So forget it. And then they wanted to forget. That was 1967. Mrs. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister. And at that point of time, the most important job of Indian Prime Minister was to visit USA to seek more and more food grants. So at that point of time, she decided this is the last time Indian Prime Minister is visiting USA for this purpose. No further any Prime Minister of India will be visiting USA for requesting for food. And then everything started. During COVID time also, this country not exported, donated almost free of cost around 15 million tons of food grains to other countries. And that's how it has changed. So you can imagine what was 65, 66, 67 and prior to that and what is now. Global food security is also now in a way controlled by food production in this country. इंडिया में अगर wheat production कम हो जाता है तो globally इसका price बढ़ जाता है. Similarly for rice, similarly for meat, similarly for many other commodities. So that means we have achieved. This country has achieved with all kinds of challenges. So the third category soldier, which was simply left off to die, could fight back and won the war. So it won the war. That has happened. But that is history. But we should remember history. We should know the history. Because we must do in current and future from the lessons we have learned in the history. But we cannot live in the history. आप इतिहास में जी नहीं सकते. आपको जीना होगा वर्तमान में और भविष्य में. वो आगे जाके हमें करना क्या चाहिए. Let's see, आगे जाके हमें क्या करना चाहिए. Not only that we are sufficient in food production, but this is what we have achieved in last say 70 years or so. If you can say literacy rate, if you can say birth control, mortality rate, life expectancy, GDP. And these are the major parameters which many countries could not achieve, but we could achieve. And these are real numbers. These are real numbers of 1950 and current 2022, 2021. That doesn't mean we are the greatest of all countries. It doesn't mean that we are the best among all the countries. This table shows where are we compared to many other countries. Starting from population, rural, agriculture workforce, per capita food grain, land availability, water availability, and so on. If you see most of the cases, except population data and workforce, our position is not so good compared to US or even China or Brazil. That doesn't mean we are the worst. There are again 70, 80 countries for which the numbers could be even much lower than India. But then we should not be looking to the people who are inferior to it. Rather, we should be looking to those who have done better than it. And probably these are the countries. Now, why I have selected only these 4 countries? Of course, India is for us, so we have to select. USA so far is economically at least the best. China got independence more or less at the same time. Brazil's economy was also more or less similar even 2 years back. But then they could really do wonderful in last few years. Of course, now again the things are not so good say, but these are the points which I have. So this background, the point is, what do we want? What do we aspire? I don't know whether our scientists can remember that book, Alice in Wonderland, but I'm sure students might have read that book, Alice in Wonderland. Very interesting book. उसमें एक सवाल पूछ रहे हैं एलिस कि मुझे बताइए मैं किधर जाऊं. So the question is, मैं किधर जाऊं. तो जिनसे पूछा गया वो कह रहे हैं कि उसका जवाब देने से पहले आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि आप जाना कहां चाहते हैं. जब तक आप नहीं पूछेंगे कि आप जाना कहां, कैसे बता दूं आप किधर जाएंगे. अगर आपको मथुरा जाना है तो मैं बता दूंगा. अगर आपको निकल जाना है तो मैं दूसरा रास्ता बताऊंगा। तो पहले आप तय कर लीजिए जाना चाहते हैं या मुक्तेश्वर जाना चाहते हैं या कहाँ जाना चाहते हैं, फिर आप मुझसे पूछिए कि रास्ता कहाँ है। सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हैव टू डिसाइड व्हाट वी वांट टू डू, व्हाट डू वी एस्पायर टुडे this 2021 2022, but the numbers are of 2021 and in 2047 this is where we want to go. Population, of course, it will go. Agriculture workforce below poverty line, which is 27% now, we want to reduce it to 5%. Urbanization 53, income at least 15-16 times more. Food grain production from 314 to 405. Now 405 will be sufficient to feed us, and that is not only achievable, it should be achieved. 5-7 साल पहले तक भी जब वो नंबर देते ना कि 314 फूड ग्रेन मिलियन टन फूड ग्रेन चाहिए, तो हम लोग IRI में बैठ के वो सोचते थे कि ये तो नंबर ही है, कुछ नहीं होने वाला है। उस समय 272 मिलियन टन होता था। उस समय किसी ने आके बताया कि अगले 10 साल में फूड प्रोडक्शन 300 मिलियन टन क्रॉस करना चाहिए, और हम सब ने तय कर लिया कि ये तो नहीं हो सकता, ये तो नंबर है। बट टुडे इज ऑलरेडी 314. 405 is not difficult, but we need 520 because we also want to divert a lot of food grain for fuel production, to export and all kinds of things. So when you put everything, then it becomes 520. Fruit, vegetable, cereals, milk, productivity as well as availability. I shall not go into details of these numbers because all of you are very learned about it. So if there's some new numbers are available, you can correct that number and you can see that this my number is not correct. But this is just some kind of information to you. If you see this animal husbandry and dairy sector in a separate way, then this is what we aspire: 2021, 2030, and 2047. Productivity, production, Indian share in dairy export, egg availability, meat, area under green fodder, and employment in these sectors. These are what we aspire. Now again the question is whether or how we will be able to achieve this. So the next part will be telling you how we can achieve this. See, there are going to be 4 mega drivers or mega trends, which probably is not entirely under your control. Those will change anyway. So demography will change in spite of several efforts and several policies of government, but even then demography is going to be changing, and the numbers which I saw. Consumption is changing, and consumption is changing very fast. पहले लोग ये सोचते थे कि food preference is something which is very difficult to change. जो लोग चावल खाते हैं वो चावल खाना छोड़ नहीं पाएंगे, वो तो सच है। जो रोटी खाते हैं रोटी खाना छोड़ नहीं पाएंगे, वो सच है। लेकिन जैसे आप नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को देखते हैं, तब आप फिर हम मानेंगे कि ये बड़े आसानी से चेंज हो सकता है। आई कम फ्रॉम ए फैमिली वेयर राइस इज द ओनली फूड। हमारा ब्रेकफास्ट भी राइस है, लंच भी राइस है, डिनर भी राइस है, राइस। मेरे दादाजी ने कभी रोटी खाए थे कि नहीं, मुझे आया probably he didn't like that. My father started something, now we take, but probably for my son, अगर उनको रोटी ना दिया जाए तो वो ज्यादा खुश होंगे, चावल ना दिया जाए तो ज्यादा खुश रहेगा। वो अगर पिज्जा बर्गर ये सब कुछ मिल जाए तो then he will be even more happy. उनको चावल खाने में लगता है कि पता नहीं ये जबरदस्ती हमारे साथ क्यों हो रहा है, हमारा लिबर्टी क्यों छीना जा रहा है, हमारा जो राइट है वो क्यों हमसे छीना जा रहा है, कि क्या राइट छीन रहे हैं। उनको हम कह रहे हैं कि आप चावल और रोटी खाएं, तो उनमें लगता है कि नहीं, उनका राइट जो है कि बिल्कुल टच नहीं होना चाहिए। I mean the point is there is a global data. I don't know, those who work on nutrition, you might go through that data. That graph is not with me, but I was analyzing that data. 30 years back, the world was consuming around 40 different items, major consumption. But that 40 major items have reduced only globally. And at one point of time, we used to think that Americans eat totally different Indians. That might not remain. Now, in many cases, their food preference is also more or less similar to the food preference of our young people. हमारे जो बच्चे हैं, their food preference is more or less similar what Europeans and Americans are eating. वो इंटरनेट जो डिफरेंट होता था, वो डिफरेंट इतना अब रहा नहीं. आप 25-30 साल के बाद, 25 साल मैंने इसलिए कहा कि 25 साल इज जनरली पीरियड ऑफ ए जनरेशन. आपके पास 25 साल होता है पूरे जनरेशन में, बाकी नेक्स्ट जनरेशन कैप्चर कर लेता है, वो कब्जा कर लेता है, फिर आपका बात कोई सुनता नहीं है और आपने भी नहीं सुना उनका. ऐसा नहीं कि वही लोग खराब है. 25 साल पहले आपने भी अपने पेरेंट्स की बात नहीं सुने हैं, तो आने वाले जनरेशन क्यों आपके बात सुनेंगे? तो उनका भी तो कुछ अधिकार है. So consumption is going to change. Climate change, in spite of all of our efforts, it is changing, and it is changing very fast. The things which are going to happen probably have not imagined actually. You really not imagine what kind of changes it may take. And technology is changing again very fast. You know, they say that in every 10 years, the development in technology doubles. 10 साल पहले जो टेक्नोलॉजी था, आज के दिन वो सारे टेक्नोलॉजी ऑब्सोलीट है. और आज जो टेक्नोलॉजी है, 10 साल के बाद हो सकता है लगेगा कि क्या बचपना हो रहा है, वो इसका कोई मतलब ही नहीं था. जबकि इसी के ऊपर हमको लगता है कि मेरा जो मोबाइल है ना, दिस इज द लेटेस्ट वन. दैट्स व्हाट आई आफ्टर 5 इयर्स लगेगा कि पता नहीं क्या मुझे खरीद के दे दिया था, ये तो कोई काम का ही नहीं है. आप तो उससे बढ़िया बढ़िया पता नहीं क्या क्या सब आ गया. सो दीस आर गोइंग टू हैपन. सो दीस आर द चेंजेस. With all of this, we have to progress. We have to go ahead. And I generally request every institute and every scientist, including individual one, you please do one SWOT analysis for yourself. वो एकदम बिल्कुल रिलीजियसली कीजिए, एकदम बैठिए और एनालिसिस कीजिए कि आपका SWOT क्या है, स्ट्रेंथ, वीकनेस, अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड थ्रेट. ये बड़ा जरूरी है. और आजकल मैं ये सर्वे में भी इंटरव्यू में बैठता हूँ. ये सर्वे में जो इंटरव्यू बैठते हैं ना, खास करके जो चेयरमैन होते हैं, सारे के सारे लोग उनका दुश्मन हो जाता है. नहीं, वो फैक्ट है. देखिए, 30 लोगों ने अप्लाई किया, उनमें से आपने 10 को बुलाया, वो 20 तो उसी दिन आपसे नाराज हो गए कि ये लोगों ने पता नहीं क्या किया, मेरा तो होना चाहिए था, मुझे नहीं बुलाया. तो 20 लोग तो अगले दिन से बस. अब वो 10 को बुलाया, अपने 10 में से सिलेक्शन तो एक का होना है, तो बाकी 9 लोग भी नाराज हो गए. जो एक का आपको आप खुश होंगे, चलो एक तो कम से कम हमारे साथ है, वो भी नहीं है. वो कहेंगे मेरा तो अपने दम से हुआ है, दम पे हुआ है, बाकी सब लोगों ने सपोर्ट किया, इन्होंने ही मुझे अपोज कर रहे थे. कहता है डॉक्टर साहब ने बड़ा अपोज किया, लेकिन तब भी मेरा हो गया. अब बताइए ना वो क्या करेंगे. और ये सच्चाई है. तो वो सच्चाई इसलिए कि हम जो कि अपना स्वॉट एनालिसिस नहीं करते. तो इंडियन एग्रीकल्चर का अगर कोई स्वॉट एनालिसिस करने बैठे तो ये मिलेगा आपको. रिच बायोडाइवर्सिटी, इन स्पाइट ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज, सुटेबल क्लाइमेट, सॉइल, land under cultivation, strong national agriculture research and education system. That is really, really strong. Many people do not realize it, but it is really strong compared to almost all countries. And we have got one history, very good history of success, including innovation, white revolution, IVRI, NDRI, so on. But we have got weaknesses, low average yield, lack of latest technologies, inadequate irrigation facility, poor smallholder farmers, poor value chain. So these are problems. But we have got opportunities. And number one is those who are sitting there. Our youth, our student. Expanding market. Emerging technologies, which I was just talking and I should tell you. More changing economy. Strong collaborations and standing up India. But we have got threats. We said 3 C's, COVID, climate and conflict. Very serious. Nobody could really think that COVID will come. In spite of forecasting, forewarning और हाथ देखने वाले एस्ट्रोलॉजर से लेकर के किसी ने ये नहीं कहा था कि कोविड जैसे कोई बीमारी आ जाए. बट इज रियलिटी, ये तो आया। किसी ने ये भी नहीं सोचा था कि 2022 में रशिया और यूक्रेन जैसे वॉर होगा। जब वॉर का तैयारी भी हो चुका था, उस दिन भी ज्यादातर लोग सोच रहे थे कि कल बंद हो जाएगा, लोगों ने बैठ जाएंगे, समझा देंगे लोगों को, यूएन है, ये है, वो है, सब कुछ है, वॉर नहीं होगा। But then the war is, I think, few months going, and people are now thinking that probably it may go from bad to worse. It may not be limited to only to those countries. There are many other countries also may jump into it, and the situation could be something which might have catastrophic impact, not only on those two countries but also whole globe. And these are realities. It ho raha hai. Resource base is poor, product quality, unfortunately, Indian products are not of high quality like Germans and many others, Japans. Unskilled manpower. Education to have, but skill that is really poor. And of course, poverty and job opportunities, again, major threats. So these are SWOT. With this, you have to go and develop. Now, there could be two views. One would argue that let us go for industry-driven development. The way industry work, let us work like that, and that only, by then only, whole country will progress. And many industrial countries have done actually like that. Another group is there, they say let us have agriculture-driven, tradition-driven kind of development. But then probably country like India may not afford to go either way. It cannot be fully industry driven, because still now around 50% or plus population are depending on agriculture, the data which I saw. इतने लोगों को agriculture छोड़ा के और कहीं ले जाएंगे। यूएसए में only 2% are depending on agriculture. रशिया में, sorry, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में 3%, whole Europe around 4 to 5%, and here it is 50% plus. Wholly depending on agriculture is again not possible. So we have to combine not only at one or two stages, but throughout the chain, from the beginning till end, we really have to combine. And there are several areas where we can, of course, we have to concentrate, and there are pathways for that. But these three areas, from agriculture point of view, I would suggest that these are the three areas where we must concentrate, must address. One is sustainability of agriculture, and when I say sustainability, it is not only environment. Sustainable agriculture is the agriculture which increases productivity without affecting environment, without pollution. Then processing, which is really, really poor even today. And then of course, waste management. So what we want to do is something like this: carbon positive, water positive, energy positive, nutrient positive, and so on, so that sustainability will come. Now, I have tried to highlight some of the ways of how these things can be done. It will take a long time to discuss each and every one, so I shall not do that. But just I wanted to highlight some of these points. Let me tell you one area of action which in ICAR we have started, which we call as agroclimatic zone-wise crop plan. And similar kind of planning should be done even for livestock and others. So far, what we have done is we are growing almost every crop everywhere, wherever there is some resources. And by doing that, we have depleted the resources. So we are growing rice in the areas where rice should not be grown. We are growing some other crops in those areas where that is not at all suitable. So a crop plan is being developed, and most of the states are now showing inclination that they will follow those kinds of scientific way of planning what to do and what not. For agriculture processing, these are the timeline and target. In 2024, share of agri-food export 23.5%, 2030 18%, 2047 50%, number of food processing units. And these are not only mere numbers, 50 horticulture cluster, 25. Government of India has already planned of giving fund to establish this. So these are not only mere numbers and imagination of of Himanshu Pathak or somebody else. These are the numbers which have been discussed and deliberated very seriously, and budget is being earmarked for all of this. So a very big and huge exercise is being done so that the numbers become reality. So in the waste management to generate wealth, this is another area which will not only save us from the pollution, but also provide lots of other wealth like energy, like fertilizer, like saving water, and several other kinds of things, including money. But so far, these wastes have been neglected and left in the environment to pollute. So that might be changed. Next area is digital agriculture. And already Government of India has outlined several of these missions for land, input, services, and I'm sure you know some of these areas also, including land record details, even in village level also, those who have got land in your villages. Now, if you go, that drones are being used to take the picture and then giving the data for your land. जो पहले केवल वो पटवारी बनाते थे, अब now all those things are going to be digitized and these are going to be permanently resolved. So not only that one, in many other areas, these things are being tracked. And database, something which all of us have left out earlier, is now one of the most important priority areas of government to generate database. Let me tell you, I think 2-3 weeks now, maybe 4 weeks now, I had a meeting with Hon'ble Prime Minister. And his emphasis was on database. He asked me very specific questions that in all the agriculture universities and ICAR institutes, including deemed universities and so on, do you have the details of the students who have passed out from those universities or deemed universities or colleges? Do you have such kind of database? I was knowing only 1 or 2 institutes and universities where the data of such kind of not so detailed are available. So I said, but he said, no, it has to be for all the universities and institutes. After passing from your institute, say from IVRI, where are they? What they are doing? Whether they are still linked with IVRI. And if not, we must do something so that not only for the data sake, but to take their contribution, their help, their expertise to build the institute. In most of the universities abroad as well, also some of the universities within our country, alumni contributes in a very big way for the development of their alma mater. And when you say IVRI is more than 100 years old, certainly there will be so many people who could be very, very happy to be a part of IVRI's development. We must harness that. And not only this one, but all kinds of data, all kinds of data. And research is one area where we generate data. We generate data, but we do not use that data for all purposes. And sometimes we forget that data also after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Now, probably this database is one area where the whole ICAR should be concentrating upon. So that each and every data, because generating data costs a lot of money. Even to generate 1 point data, say nutrition profile, say how much protein is there in mutton or in chicken or whatever it is. Even to know that, you know how much amount of time, energy, rupees, chemicals you have spent. But then once you develop it and then you forget it. So that after 2 years, somebody else has to do that again. So this is one area starting from farmer database, agri-tech database, dairy database, fisheries, water bodies, animal, credit, cooperative, land, agriculture, economic zone, and there could be many more. So all of these need to be there based on which the development will come. Seed development regime, again, some of the plans have been made. And And when I say seed, it is not only for crop seed, but also for livestock, for fisheries, and all other commodities. And there are some specific numbers given for different years. These are the years which we are going to. Water use efficiency. Again, an area where it is possible, and there is now fixed target on how much area should be under micro irrigation, drip, sprinkler, and so on. So all these exercises are being done. Fertilizer use. One area of concern for Government of India today is lot of subsidy for fertilizer and also for water, because many states electricity is free for irrigation. And the moment you put price for that irrigation water, which is now free, then you will see that cost benefit of that food production will be totally reversed. The crop which is being looked at very profitable today, you put price of water there, and then you will find it is no more profitable. Similarly, fertilizer. But then today, for example, Government of India gives around 2 lakh crore rupees for subsidy for fertilizers, mostly urea. Now, how to get rid of that large or huge quantity of fertilizer? Then, of course, several services to farmers, starting from water, soil to, and some of the states actually. One good example is the state of Andhra Pradesh. I don't know whether anybody is from Andhra Pradesh. Rayatu Bharosha Kendra. So that is a very good scheme. It is working, and many other states also got different kinds of models. Now, one major activity is going to provide the services to the farmers, and all kinds of services where specific plans are being made. KVK is going to be one area, and this is concern of all of us. How KVKs can be transformed to become agri clinic and training center by 2047, and each and every KVK will be functioning as a kind of what we say lighthouse kind of thing. Almost every technology, not only from ICAR or SAU, but also the private companies and everybody, will be able to demonstrate and showcase their technologies from one organization, and that is going to be KVK. But for doing all of this, as Dr. Trivedi सब भी बता रहे थे और Dr. Tripathi भी, पैसा कहाँ से आएगा? This is a concern. But let me tell you, this may not be a big concern actually. I'm not saying that we don't need money. We certainly need money. But then, if we can really start thinking and doing our job in a little different way, much of these problems can be solved. अभी तक हमारा करने का जो तरीका रहा है, that we shall get money from government and that's what we shall spend. And we shall do almost everything because money is almost assured. Now, money is not going to be assured. And without assured money, several international organizations, and I'm sure many of you are associated with our CG systems, whether it is IVRI or IRI or CIMIT or whatever it is, and most of the private companies who have not got good amount of money from Government of India, and they are now doing business very profitably, very profitably. Again, in terms of number of scientists, the other day I was discussing with, see, take any crop, say ICAR for example, which works on several crops. And for one crop, say pigeon pea, for which we have got 2 institutes actually, and almost every SAU is working on pigeon. Now, ICAR has got only 4 scientists to work on pigeon pea. But with 4 scientists, if you see the output, probably that will be equivalent to 20, 25, even 30 working in some of the government system like ours. Getting more manpower not necessarily is going to solve your problem. So one thing probably we have to now accept, that ICAR should be a lean but very efficient organization. And we should not be doing anything and everything, whatever comes in our way. We should try as per the national need or international need, and from where we shall get money. If a particular aspect, government or other would think, no, it is not required, they do not want it, probably we can keep it for later period. So we really need to prioritize. We really need to prioritize and work with the private partners. Not only just to commercialize our products from the beginning. And one of the efforts we have initiated. One model we are going to start with IVRI. And if that becomes successful, I'm not explaining the whole model today because of paucity of time, but on some other occasion I will explain it. If that becomes successful, probably ICAR institutes might not be requiring much money from government. We'll be able to do it of our own. And not only doing of our own, we'll be able to even contribute to other organizations. Some of the assets which ICAR has got are unparalleled, which others do not have. Only one or two policy changes are required, which we are now trying to pursue with the government. And if these things happen, surely the things are going to be totally turned around. One is whatever revenue we generate, that should be given to the institutes back. And with that concept, we have started our corpus fund. There is little hitch, which was not there in our information, but now we know that this problem is there, but we are going to sort it out. And similarly, working with private. Several private organizations are now ready to even build facilities in your campus and to spend entire research expenditure with the condition that whatever product will come is going to be a joint product. Now, these are some kind of policy refinement is required, which I'm sure we will be able to handle out. Before I conclude, let me just share with you a few more things. For doing all of this, technology is going to be the most crucial. And fortunately, all of us are related to science and technology. And when we say 2047, our friends, they say that yesterday's research is today's science, is tomorrow's technology. So this is how research, science, and technologies are different. Yesterday's research is today's science, is tomorrow's technology. So whatever research we are doing today or others are doing today, tomorrow it is going to be science, and then day after tomorrow, we are going to get or generate technology out of it. And in that context, this particular slogan is very, very appropriate. Globally, it has been observed that the country which has got technology, they are developed. And the countries which do not have technology, they are simply lagging behind. So technology ko to apnana hai. And if you see over from 1700 till today, how the gaps have widened among the countries because of technology gap. Some of the countries adopted the technologies, generated the technologies, used the technologies, and some countries somehow could not do that. So those who could do that, their economy is here. Those who could not do, they are still struggling. So technology is going to play a very crucial role. It has played in the past and is also going to play a crucial role even in the future. Now with this is a trajectory. So current state 2022, weak technology innovation capacity, weak financing mechanism, limited IP technology transfer, democratic change, slow diversification. By 2025, strategic planning, adoption and innovation, improve basic infrastructure, and then of course 2030, policies, reforms, investment in R&D, and then of course 2047, those two, develop nation, inclusive and sustainable living. This is a kind of trajectory where this country has to now go through. And these are doable, these are achievable. Again, no need to emphasize that technology has played and will be playing major role not only for the rich, but also for the poor. We should not be thinking that technology is good for rich and not good for poor. It is good for everybody across the scale. So we need to use not only today's technologies, but also frontier technologies, emerging technologies, and also futuristic technologies. And this is why when Dr. Tripathi was talking about that we are searching for think tank. we really want our scientists to think about these futuristic technologies or even work with emerging technologies. And this should come totally out of it is not necessary that person in position will be having this idea. The idea may come from anyone. And we are really looking forward. And that's what I say wherever I go to our different institutes, that of course we say we do not have infinity fund. But if any one of you is having a brilliant idea and you are not in a position to implement that idea because of fund, you just let me know and I shall ensure that you get the fund for that particular project. So what is required is brilliant idea. Fund can be proportionally given from somewhere to somewhere, but the idea is something which we are very seriously looking for. And what are those frontier technologies? These are not futuristic technologies. These are all almost available technologies. Of course, 5 years back, probably people could think these are all futuristic technologies. It might come, might not come. But these are all AI, big data, IoT, nanotechnology, 5G, robotics, drone, 3D, blockchain, photovoltaic, and all of these are now in a way reality. And each one of these technology can change the entire gamut of the society, each one of these. And we are fortunate that we have got those technologies with us today. And probably next year and next year, some other technologies are also going to come. So in a way, not only for the country, but for our institute also, we really need to plan short-term wise and also long-term wise. This is plan for the country, but the institute also should plan accordingly. What they are going to do in next 1 year, 2 years, 3rd year, and then what they are going to do in 4th year, 5th year, and 6th year. So, for example, sustainable agriculture technology. From soil water front, there are several ones: speed breeding, genomics, AI, and big data. And many institutes have now started doing it. So, genomics, for example, genome editing was something 2 years back. Somebody made a presentation before me. And I thought it might not work, or probably government of India might not give permission. But government of India not only gave permission for genome editing, but day before yesterday it gave permission for even GM mustard. So now GM mustard is reality, and then maybe within the next 2-3 years we are going to get all those. So at the end, of course, we have got all of these aspirations, not only self-sufficiency, as I said, but if not feeding the entire world, but certainly caring for the earth and world, that capability India can have, Indian scientists can have. For livestock and aquaculture sector, again, there are several kinds of things: technology, breeding, high productivity, vaccines, diagnostics. I shall not elaborate because all of you know much more than me. Before I conclude, few points for ICAR. So we really have to re-imagine agriculture research and education system. We really have to. Even if you assume fund crunch, probably some kind of stress is required. I used to work in one stress institute, National Robotic Stress Management. What they say, and this is scientifically correct, that if you want a good quality of a crop, say horticultural crop, you give some stress, at least for 1 or 2 weeks. And then that plant becomes resistant for further stresses. And then it becomes even stronger. So outcome-oriented, project-based, delivery-focused research. Not funding everything and anything. And this is the job of each individual scientist and of course the institute. Food system, so it is crop, but again from livestock point of view also, the system. And not only farm to fork. The concept we have been nurturing is farm to fork, but now you have to go back fork to farm. You see what kind of food people are now desiring, now aspiring for. So it should be going back. Do what they want. Yield maximization to income maximization, carbon negative to carbon positive, greening the growth, and carbon climate sensitive to climate resilient agriculture, what we say, climate smart agriculture. And for those, of course, every day we're talking about prioritize resources and manpower use based on national priorities, international commitments, and future scenarios. Responsible scientists, that's what my appeal and request to all of you. Not only responsible scientists, but responsible staff. We should be responsible in our activities, responsible in our behavior, responsible in our commitment, responsible in our accountability. If we are not responsible, who else could be in this country? If we do not have commitment, who else will have in this country? And that message must be internalized by all of us. Active collaboration with private and international organizations, which I already said, autonomy, decentralization, incentive-based performance evaluation. What we are going to do maybe in next 1 week or 1 or 2 weeks, we are going to come with a revised delegation of power. Our whole idea is to give more and more autonomy to the institutes and also to the scientists, so that you need not to consult headquarters for anything and everything. Headquarters should not receive almost anything from the institute. Institute should be in a position to take its own decision. If it comes, it should be only very few related to foreign and those kinds of things. But better if it doesn't come. Better if it doesn't come. And to achieve those, this is probably my last slide, 7 core principles, what they talk about, leading to what we are dreaming for 2047. One is governance, the one I was mentioning also. Maximum governance, minimum government. We are now in one organization. See what they say, and that was probably told by Abraham Lincoln maybe around 60 years back or so, that the best government is that which governs the least. And that is the गवर्नमेंट का प्रभाव नहीं होना चाहिए और भाव भी नहीं होना चाहिए. ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि लगता है कोई है ही नहीं, जो मर्जी मैं करता रहूं. नो, वो तो अभाव हो. गवर्नेंस का अभाव नहीं होना चाहिए, लेकिन गवर्नेंस का प्रभाव भी नहीं होना चाहिए. And that is the philosophy of best government, which governs the least. Then, of course, collaboration, empowerment, infrastructure, technology, ease of living, and finally, sustainable ecosystem. So these are the 7 core principles. So friends, if we need to conclude, enhance 3 I's: innovation, incentives, and institutions with effective governance, functional ICAR, university, industry, alumni, farmer linkages, improve technologies, products, publications, and delivery, and India to make a global, affordable agri-research and education destination for productive, profitable, and climate-smart India. These are what we are aiming for ICAR, and the previous ones, what we are aiming for the whole country. Thank you very much for your very questions here. And again, thank you very much, Dr. Doug and your staff, for giving me this excellent opportunity. An excellent opportunity to come to IVRI and interact with all of you. Now, seeing all of you standing over here is itself the biggest honor which one can aspire for. And that honor has been given to me. So thank you very much and wish you all the best. Namaskar.
Aptly said, those who forget the past are condemned to repeat it. Sir, your lecture was a real brain churner, a vision that we all believe will firmly guide the narrow system to usher in the golden period for agriculture, livestock, and allied sectors. Sir, your address was a real eye-opener for young scientists and students, and it was an honor listening to you, sir. Thank you so much. May I now request Dr. A.K. Tiwari, Director, ICAR CRI, to propose vote of thanks, please.
respected Dr. Himanshu Pathak, Honorable Secretary, Department of Agriculture, Research and Education, and Director General ICAR, Dr. B.N. Tripathi, Honorable Deputy Director General, Animal Science, Dr. Trivendra, Director ICAR, IVRI, Dr. B.K. Saxena, ADG Animal Production and Breeding, ICAR, Joint Director colleagues of IVRI, Controller, Head of Divisions, Scientists, and Officers of IVRI and CRI, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. I have been given very pleasant task of thanking one and all who are present here and who have made this function successful. A very good afternoon to you all. I, on behalf of IVRI and CRI faculty and staff, and on my own behalf, deemed it a great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion of being of Hon'ble DG sir. Indeed, it is a great pleasure for me to express my sincere gratitude to the respected Secretary there and DG ICAR, Dr. Pathak sir, for his constant support, encouragement, and sparing valuable time to visit our both institute and grace the 44th foundation ceremony of CRI. Sir, your great vision with acumen to combine groundbreaking research with popular touch will enable us to communicate complex science simply and directly to the public in all fields of rural development. Sir, I thank you for gracing this function and for your enlightening and motivating address. You have opened our mind. We are deeply grateful to respected Deputy Director General, Animal Science, Dr. B.N. Tripathi sir, for his kind presence and for his guidance in all our activities here in IVRI and CRI. Sir, you are always source of inspiration and guiding force for all of us. Thank you very much, sir, for your unconditional support always. My most profound thanks to Dr. Trivendra, IVRI, Director IVRI, for planning the event meticulously. Because of his meticulous planning, continuous monitoring and tireless effort, the event could be organized successfully in very smooth way. I thank all the distinguished guests, joint directors, head of divisions, scientists, and officers of IVRI and CRI, and students who have assembled here to get the enlightened with the wisdom of Honorable DG sir and DDG sir. I am sure that you have been enriched with the knowledge and wisdom of experience of our DG and DG sir. We are thankful to all members of our organizing committee in successful discharging the responsibility relating to several aspects of organizing this meeting. I express my gratitude to members of internal electronic media for covering the entire event from morning till now. My deepest appreciation to all who contributed in some way for making this function a resounding success. I also take the opportunity to wish everyone a very productive day in coming month and day ahead. Finally, I leave you with the inspiring quotes of Martin Luther King, that is, an individual has not started living until he rises above the confines of his individualistic concern to the broader concern of all humanity. Thank you very much to you all. Thank you, sir.
सामने आ जाए।